We're live. I'm going to help out all those people in relationships. You'll never have a failed one again. That's Cole Swindell. She had me at Heads, Carolina on 101.1 KRMD. It is now 9:10. I'm Mason in the morning, broadcasting live on the radio, on Facebook, on YouTube, all at once. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. Hi, everybody out there. Oh, man. The advice I'm about to give you is going to be the end of failed relationships. The end of failed relationships. So you might want to write these down. Get out a nice yellow pad, because I'm going to fix all your relationships. There's a survey that's been done. They have asked people what contributed to their failed relationships. Oh, what contributed to their failed relationships? They were asked to check all that apply, and then they could also enter at the bottom, like you didn't list this, so, fill in the blank. What was the contributing factors to your failed relationships? And I've got the top 10 right here. I assume if you just go ahead and say, I'm not going to do these things anymore, your relationship is going to work out. If you can fix these things, your relationship is going to work out. So this advice I'm about to lay on you will be the end of your failed relationships. Every relationship you will have after this will be a success, which I can only assume is one, right? Hopefully you don't have like 5 or 6 simultaneous relationships. So the next one will be perfect if you follow the advice here. If you don't do these contributing factors to failed relationships. Some of them are kind of interesting. They actually do a full top 20. I can't get through all 20. But if you've ever thought, good loving was important, apparently it's not so much, because bad loving is all the way down at 18. Kind of insignificant there. And only 12% say that's even a significant factor at all. Kind of interesting. But that's in the top 20. Let's scoot ahead. Let's get to the top 10. The important ones. The ones to really avoid if we're trying to make our relationship work. Number 10, never washing the dishes. That's funny. That's funny. Did dishes ruin a relationship that you've had? That's a bummer. If that really is one of the reasons that you broke up, that you got divorced over the dishes, I mean, they want you to want to do the dishes, right? You guys remember the movie The Breakup? Why would I want to do the dishes? Number 10 is doing the dishes. Number 9, probably along the same lines, being too messy. This is actually in 25%. These numbers get huge. 25% of failed relationships were caused by being too messy. Too messy. And not doing the dishes, probably. It's probably what it was. Number 8, being too talkative. That's funny. That could be a warning to a lot of people out there. Too talkative. 31% of failed relationships failed because people were too talkative. They just wouldn't shut up. Is that what it is? Wow, that's rough. Number 7, not liking a specific food. I can actually get on board with this. I really can. If you don't like the food that I like, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. I just don't. You see people that are in relationships with vegetarians when they're full meat eaters. I'm like, how is that even going to work? You guys are going to have separate everything all the time? You're never going to share anything? Make a dinner that you'll like and she will like? They're like, no, you just have to. You have to eat the vegan food. You have to eat the vegetarian food. No, you have to eat the meat. No, I've never tried to make somebody eat any meat. Vegetarians, on the other hand, have always tried to make me eat their stuff. I could never do it. Absolutely not liking a specific food. 35% of failed relationships say they failed because of that. Number 6, poor manners. Want to write that one down. Poor manners. That's interesting. That's actually at 38% of failed relationships failed because of poor manners. A lot of people don't think their manners really do matter, do they? They don't think that matters, but it does. That keeps showing up on a lot of things when it comes to relationships. Poor manners. Number 5. All right, these are the top 5 biggest contributors to failed relationships. Let's get into it. Number 5, being too obsessed with their pets. Really? That's something. I don't think I've ever had that situation. In all my relationships, I don't think I've ever had anybody in my life too obsessed with their pets. I don't think that's been an issue. I could see it being an issue, I guess. I mean, what's obsessed? How obsessed is too obsessed? But that's big. That's 40%. 40% of failed relationships. Number 4, no sense of humor or a very different sense of humor. 41% of failed relationships. We're getting to nearly half here. 41%, no sense of humor or a different sense of humor. I could definitely see that. I actually think that's a big reason I married my wife, was because she got the things that I was saying. She understood my sarcasm. She understood the jokes that I was saying. It was like, this lady gets me. This woman understands the things that I am saying to her. I think that was a major contributing factor to my successful relationship. She actually got the jokes. I mean, I'm a sarcastic guy. I don't know if you guys know that, but I use a lot of tongue-in-cheek, a lot of sarcasm, a lot of dry humor, deadpan humor, whatever you want to call it. And I've had a lot of relationships with women who did not understand what I was saying. They're just like, oh, huh. It's like, it's a joke. I don't have to tell you it's a joke. I love that about my wife. I don't have to tell her I'm kidding. Number 3, for the biggest contributors to failed relationship, this one's a real bummer. Poor hygiene. Yikes. 42%. You guys got to clean up. Right? Clean up. This is ridiculous. My wife said she's also pretty. That is another reason, honey. I do love you because you're pretty too. You're funny and pretty. You're the best of both worlds. Number 2, the poor hygiene. I was going to talk more about that, but I feel like it's self-explanatory. Wash yourself. Make sure you smell good. Even if you have a dirty job, clean up afterwards. Poor hygiene, no excuse. Number 2, overuse of social media. That's got to be a new modern one, right? But I could totally see it. I see my daughter constantly on social media, or not on social media so much because I blocked all of her social media, but like texting and being social in general, but with the phone. Ugh, I couldn't imagine being in a new relationship now, or trying to start all over as like a 20-something when your girlfriend won't get off the phone, when your boyfriend won't stop Instagramming, won't stop putting selfies of him in the gym. Ugh, I don't know how I'd live. I really don't. I'm so glad I'm married. I'm so glad I'm married. The social media thing is crazy. But that's number 2. That's actually 42%. 42% overuse of social media. And then the number 1 biggest contributor to failed relationships, this one's going to be huge for a lot of you. Clinginess. Clinginess. What do you think about that? 43% of people say the biggest contributor to their failed relationship was clinginess. That is something. They just didn't have enough free time. Is that what exactly would be considered too clingy? Somebody who just has to be around you constantly, won't let you have any free time, won't let you have alone time? Or somebody who's actually clinging to you? You know, you walk in the door and they jump on you. Is that the clinginess? It's probably the other one. That's my guess. But those are the biggest contributing factors. So there you go. Now that you've heard it, now you know for sure what you can do to have a successful relationship. Wash the dishes, clean up after yourself, stop talking so much, like whatever food your partner likes. I don't know if you can do that. That might just not work out. Poor manners, you should work on that for sure. Don't be obsessed with your pets. Have a sense of humor. Clean yourself, wash yourself, brush your teeth. Don't use social media too much, and don't get too clingy. There you go. The end of failed relationships. You're welcome. You're welcome. Bye, guys. I hope that helps.